Cows are why I can't have nice things. But at the same time, cows are why I have nice things. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Just bust through them clouds. I'd appreciate it. It is a little slick out. Yesterday was muddy. It did dry up a little bit. And yeah, now it's just, it ain't terrible in places, but where it's wet, it's still wet. And we're gonna try to get some manure hauled today, because the pit is, it's pretty full. We had about a week of 35, a high of 35, and getting into the low 20s overnight, so there was no chance in hell of this thing starting. But I think it only got down to like 40 last night, and it's 50 degrees now, and it was 50 degrees as soon as, I would say, the sun came up. But can you even call that coming up? Coming up, but not coming out. One of those days it'd be really nice if my remotes worked, but I'm pretty sure my little board there is shot. Not quite weatherproof. I had a little jug over it, but the cows just love playing this game of let's tear the jug off. And I think all the wiring's still good, so I just got to get a new one. Pull the old wires off, put new wires on. Anyway, I gotta get the old, those cables hooked up to the truck, get the transfer pump going, fill it with fuel, check oil, basically fire it up. Hopefully there will be ether involved, and get this thing fired up, let it warm up. I got the manure tank hooked up. I just got to grease that over, so while I'm greasing that, I'm gonna let this thing warm up. Big block, takes a little time to heat her up, but yeah. And just a little, okay, hopefully that's enough. Hopefully it's not too much. I suppose might as well let this thing warm up while we're greasing it. This one's not quite as cold-blooded. It just bleeds fuel back really, really bad. Just got a little bit of a coolant leak right there. Obviously it's not leaking coolant out of the starter. It's coming, I'm assuming, out of that valve, and it's dripping down. Hopefully it's not the head gasket. That'd be bad. But I keep an eye on it. It really doesn't leak much at any, but God, this thing's a bear. You'd think for getting used as much as it does, it'd be pretty used to this, but, or maybe it didn't bleed fuel back and there's pressure there. I don't know, sometimes it's weird like that. You could leave this thing sit for like 2 minutes and have to pump it back up to start it, and other times it'll go half a day and not bother. I've just learned to do it anyway, because it beats climbing up and down the steps getting out of the tractor, so. Oofed. I think I'm out of shape. Good thing winter's setting in. No smoke. There's some smoke. Oh, and there she goes, getting all that fuel. Alright. Let this whole girl warm up. And let's grease the manure tank. Well, I'd say granted we're not loaded. We ain't doing too bad for leaving tracks, but that'll get about 10 times worse once we're loaded. I decided we're gonna try to climb the hill through the dry cow pasture out of the pit, and right up over this hill there's a field we combine corn off of, so there's corn stalks over there. And we're just gonna do the short point A to point B, haul as much as we can with, hopefully without sliding into the woods and making a big mess. The making a big mess thing is probably gonna happen. Not in the way of spilling manure, but there's a little dip right there we gotta go down and up, and that's gonna be muddy. This might get a little wild. Groovy. So when I was out here earlier, all the cows and dry cows were kind of down over there, a couple up around here, but then of course I go up there and open those gates and all the cows are just slowly wandering in that direction. Cool. Probably get to chase some cows around later. See how well we do here. Give her the beans. And of course this throttle doesn't like to stay where I leave it. We're still moving. Of course cows are still moving towards the open gate. Not too bad. Could be a little drier. I'd like it a little drier, but I think it'll work. Stay away from the gate. Go. Go. Where you go? Where you go? And away we go. Ever since I cleaned out that tube, this thing is spreading there pretty good. Sending a fair amount into the woods. That's okay. Woods always needs a little fertilizer. Not really even leaving a trace in the field, so that's good. It's a little drier than I thought it was, and I took the not so steep side, but of course after you drop over that bank then it's pretty gnarly, so we're gonna try to probably just curve, avoid all that, but not bad. Yeah, you know, besides being totally drenched in manure, you can't even tell I drove through there. Corn stalk's doing some good. Coming up the hill, we're getting a little mud on the tires, but all in all, not as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. Nice and boring, that's the way I like it. Well, one more lovely morning, we're going to haul manure. You can see it. Oh, Jesus, that's way too much. You can see on the wall, that's about how much I got hauled out. And of course, just like before, it's just the front, not the back. But that's alright. We're gonna hopefully get this all sucked out today, even if I gotta do some after milk and hauling. Hopefully that old pooch wants to start up. Who are we kidding? Like we're even gonna give it a chance to say no. Stab will do ya. That warm up a while. I'm gonna go have breakfast. Alrighty, first load, spreading away. I've already had to turn my heat off for today. Very happy about that. It is November 4th. Too early for my taste to be freezing yet, but I looked in the forecast and it ain't supposed to freeze for another week yet, so it's good. Hopefully it dries out a little more because it's still a tick muddy. Not terrible though, so. Good deal. We got the last partial load in the tank, and yeah, it kind of sucked everything out. There's a lot more solid on the bottom than I thought there'd be, but that's okay. We're gonna go haul this off, come back in, pull that out, and maybe I'll tear that down. Otherwise, I'm gonna jump in the skid loader and jump right into loading a slinger. We'll see. Otherwise, I still got the old, well, the new white out on that spreader. I want to get on hook because the Magnum that usually is on the baler is going to go on that, I think. So, yeah. Pitter patter. Oh, come on. Be done now. Let's go. There you go. Thank you. Let's pull a drain and call this an end to slurry hauling 2023. Yippee. Come on, open all the way up. There you go. Yeah, get it all out. I'm so happy to be done hauling slurry. I might even wash this thing. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. If I get everything else done that I have to do, we'll do a congratulatory slurry tank wash. That's some foamy stuff. Neat. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a new chunk of hose on this before next season. If that blows, it is gonna soak who's ever sitting in the seat. Move that little arm down so we can get this down here at ground level. Can undo this clamp, and then that stand off the front of the tractor, that'll rotate forward to get that down on the ground. And then actually I'll just pull that pipe right off, leave that with it. That stores in these little saddles on the side of the pump, and then this thing's a lot easier to drive around because you don't want to turn too sharp with this on. It pulls and flexes and not ideal. So get this unhooked, get this back. Yeah. Well, there is just enough twist in this pipe that it is stuck in there, so I can either bring a sledgehammer out, bang on this piece to get it broke loose, or I can just take this bolt out. So I'm probably just going to take that bolt out. But I need a wrench, an impact probably, or a sledgehammer if I do it the other way, so I had to go get tools. Well, we got all that tore down. Impact and a wrench, and took that bolt out. Got the pipe up where it needs to be. And that pipe is every bit as heavy as it needs to be. I usually have another person in the skid loader hold that pipe. I didn't have that this time, so I had to carry it, and that was not fun. But I had to pull this ahead just so I can get the gates closed, and then we'll take it out and start washing. Yay. Well, all cleaned up. It's one thing I like, just leaving the back end in the manure. I don't have to clean the whole goddamn thing. But she is looking a little worse for wear in some spots. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to blast the old thing and get some fresh paint on it, especially up top where it was sitting. That was looking really rough, but well, that's how it goes. It ain't an easy life for the old girl, but I think we're probably gonna go unhook this maybe, or I'm gonna go haul manure with something else doing somewhere else, so we'll see what happens. Finally made it out here. Hopefully you don't have to go back and get oil, and hopefully this thing starts, because it was a long walk out here. What do you think? Tractor gonna start? What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, I hope so. Alrighty. See how cold-blooded this thing is? I gotta get rid of that buzzer. One more try underneath her, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We better give her a little snuff. What do you think?
Good.
Do not let the clutch out too early. Oh, you dirty little dog. Is it going? Well, besides one of these hoses that wanted to keep leaking hydraulic fluid all over everywhere, that was about the easiest time I've ever had on hooking something. Usually the PTO sticks a little, or the hydraulic hoses don't want to come out, or the pin's wedged, and you got to mess around with that. Someone's a little good luck. Ugh. I think you might just be my little good luck charm. What is that face? Whose birthday is it tomorrow?
Me.
How old are you going to be?
10.
10? I think you're over by about 7. How many is this many?
3.
3? You going to be 3?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Good deal. All right, we're going to tuck the old white here. Put that in the shed. And there's a magnum off the baler that's going to go on this. I don't know if I'll get to hooking this up yet, or I got to pick straws here if I want to. Oh, if I want to hook this thing up. Otherwise, I might just go jump in that blue tractor on the slinger and start working at the pit. What do you want to do? I don't know either. Well, we got the slurry tank unhooked from that tractor. So next up would be to get this thing unhooked from the slinger, so that can go on that. And while I unhook this, I'm going to get the skid loader and push down some more on that gear, see if I can get that to drop down anymore. So that's completely done. What? Okay. But yeah, I'm about cooked for today, so I think we're gonna leave this till tomorrow, and when I don't have a little straggler here. So, did we have fun driving a bunch of tractors today? Gonna do it tomorrow? No, we're not. You got a birthday party. Well, we'll see you guys on another day.